Hey you guys, so welcome back to RMPM, reprogramming my preconditioned mind. So I just wanted to say right off bat, I am not here to try to discredit every single thing, every single last thing that I've ever learned. Because obviously, me being here today and me being, me being alive, me being well, me being aware enough to be able to learn this information and, do this inner work, there was obviously things that I've done and the things that I've been taught that have helped me on my journey, helped me to become who I am. So I'm not saying that every single thing that you learn throughout your life is garbage. That wouldn't make sense. I wouldn't even be here today. You wouldn't be here today. What I am saying though is that more often than not, there are negative things that are affecting us, that are forcing us to be a specific way in our society. And I, for one, do not want to be that person. I don't want to be another sheep. I don't want to, follow the crowd. I want to be my own person and I want to achieve and be great. I want to be the person I know that I'm meant to be. And I can't do that, by staying programmed by what I've been taught my entire life, right? So I just wanted to say that because I don't want this channel to be something where it's like, oh my gosh, she's trying to be this like just like everyone else. I mean, I don't want to say just like everyone else. I know there's a lot of great, I watch a lot of great people out here that are definitely woke, who are definitely speaking about the stuff that we want to talk about and that's helping change the minds of, many people, and opening up their third eye, which we'll talk about later. But there's just little pieces of information that will help us and help me specifically day to day. You know what I mean? Like that will help bring everything else into the bigger picture. So in my shorts, the short videos that I made yesterday, I talked about procrastination. And procrastination for me is huge, right? Because for me, I put a lot of things off that are really important for me. And by putting things off, my confidence is low, my motivation is low, and things don't get done to the capacity that they need to get done because I wait to the last minute. And some things, like in school, for instance, when I was in high school, middle school, elementary school, I would wait to the last minute to do my homework and stuff like that. And most of the time it worked for me. Doing my assignments last minute, I was able to put in I don't know how I did it, but I was able to put in a lot of information and do really well and get a really good grade. Fast forward to adult life, that does not work. And when you're an adult and you have real important things to take care of, like your bills, you can't just wait to the very last minute to pay your bills, or you might not have the lights on, or you can't wait to the last minute to get food for your family, or they may starve. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain things that we have learned throughout our childhood into adult life that just doesn't work anymore. And it's time that, for me especially, like I want to figure out why. I want to break down those things and, make some changes. So, like I said, yesterday I was talking about procrastination and I looked on, I don't remember the site, but they say that there are 4 main types of procrastinators. And so we have the performer, the self-deprecator, the overbooker, and the novelty seeker. So I'm going to break down each of those types and you just see which one you fall into. And I feel like when I was reading it, I felt like that each one of those I have fallen into at one point in time. So you may fall into more than one. You may fall into all of these categories, and there's nothing wrong with that. But identifying, being aware, and acknowledging what it is that you do and why you do it definitely helps to create better ways for you to change and work toward being better for yourself. So, number one, the performer. The performer is the person who works well under pressure. That's what I was saying about doing the schoolwork, waiting until the very last minute. For some reason, I get this random amount of confidence and saying, man, I need to get this done. By the end of the day, I'll just start making all this information, research and doing all this information last minute, and submit my information, submit my paper, and I get a good grade. This person is the person who shrinks the amount of time they have to do something. So doing it at the very last minute creates a huge amount of pressure. The biggest challenge for the performer is getting started. So that was the thing for me, getting started. Why? I'm not sure. It was just, I don't want to say it's laziness. It was just, I felt the need to, I felt like I would get a lot more done in a shorter amount of time, which doesn't make sense, but it's my brain, so. But yeah, the biggest it's the performance. This person wants to, wait to the very last minute to take care of something. They're just like, okay, I have a paper due in a week. The week is over and you get to Friday at 2:30 and your teacher's like, your paper's due right before you leave class for the weekend, and you're just like, crap, now I have to type up this paper that I was supposed to do, this 2-3 page paper, and I didn't even start. But you're just like, wow, your adrenaline starts rushing and you just get it done like that, right? It's weird how our brains work. Number 2, the self-deprecator. I am so lazy right now. That's what they say. These people overwork themselves, right? This type of person, they put so much on their plate that when it gets time to do what they need to do, they're just like, they're so hard on themselves, right? They're extremely hard on themselves. They're not as compassionate for themselves. So they're so hard on themselves that they don't even start. They don't even do what they have to do because they have so much going on, or they're working so hard on maybe a bunch of other things that they talk so low of themselves, and then by the time they get to the project or the thing that they need to do, it's just like, I don't want to do this, I'm lazy, I'm this, I'm that. And the self-deprecator, they'll talk so much crap about themselves that it makes it very hard for this person to, finish their project or start their project, or you know what I mean. The self-deprecator, they'll start their project, but they'll talk so much crap about each other themselves that they won't finish it, or they'll finish it and they'll talk about, you know what I'm saying. Like, the self-deprecator is just someone who just talks a lot of crap about themselves, and they're not as compassionate for themselves, even though they do a lot for themselves and they do a lot of work and they get a lot done. Then next we have the overbooker. This is the I'm so busy person. This procrastinator is a pro at filling up their calendar. So this is the person that says that, works 40 hours a week, then they want to go to yoga, then they want to go out to party, then they want to go, you know what I mean, then they're going to go visit their friends, go see family. Like, they throw all of these things on their calendar, right? And then when it's time to do what they actually have to do, they're just like, I have too much to do. Like, I don't have enough time to, work on this project because I have to go do this and I have to go do this. So it almost seems like there's so many other things that are more important than what needs to be done. Another procrastinator. And it's like, why procrastinate on something that if you don't want to do something, then just don't do it? Why assign yourself something to do that you're not going to do? You know what I mean? Like, it gives you confidence to say, oh, let me just, start this project or let me just put this on my calendar and say I'm going to do this project. But what does it really do? That confidence, is there for that 5 minutes that you put it on your calendar, and then by the time that you have to go back to actually do it, you're just like, you feel like crap because you haven't started it, or you haven't given it much thought because you've been focused on so many other things. So last but not least is the novelty seeker. This is the person who has millions of ideas, but they never follow through on any of them. These are like the entrepreneurs, the ones who are, they have a million ideas. I want to create this. I want to start this. I want to go here and work on this and this and this. And by the end of the week, this person is just like, oh man, like they're bored and they're on to the next project. So this person has an issue with consistency and completing one task at a time. So of course they're going to procrastinate the projects and the things that they need to do because they're not finishing the first project that they had to do. So if you have 3 projects that you need to do and you don't finish any of them, of course you're going to procrastinate all the way to the very last minute. So these are like the 4 main types of the procrastinator. And if you fall into any of these specific categories, the biggest thing I could say is start. First of all, don't put something on your calendar and don't assign something to yourself that you're not going to do. Just be honest with yourself. If you don't want to do something, if you don't have the time, or if you don't feel like it, or you're not that interested in it, don't do it. The things that you have to do that are your responsibility, just get it done. Do it right away, get it over with. The faster you do something, it's out of your mind, out of sight, out of mind. Because that's the worst part of being a procrastinator. You put something, a project, or you tell someone you're going to do something, and then you don't think about it or you don't see it. It's out of sight, out of mind, and then you don't do it. And the lasting effects to where you don't do it when you've actually assigned it for yourself are much worse than if you were to just get it over and get it done. And it's like easier said than done. I absolutely understand. It's easier said than done. But the goal is to try. The goal is to try. So I hope you guys liked this. And if you do, be sure to type in the comments what else that you guys want to know about. Procrastination is a huge thing for me. And next we're going to talk about accountability. Will Smith just put out a video stating how taking accountability for the slap, the Chris Rock slap. And that's huge. Accountability is huge. It's without accountability, you are not acknowledging what it is that you have done wrong, which prevents you from being able to learn and to identify what it is that you can do to make things right. So next class is next video is going to be about accountability. So thank you for watching this video, and like, comment, subscribe if this interests you whatsoever, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.